That's right. That's right. Shut up.
Production.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts Whiskey Shots. It's, as always, me, your host, American podcasting legend, the albino rhino, the manila gorilla, maintenance Thor, that's a major one too, adjective man. Let's wait for the applause. Wait for the applause.
Oh. There it is. We're good.
Bask in my ambience and glory.
It's ambiance.
And as always, to my left, to your right, the co-host, the degenerate extraordinaire.
Hey guys, it's me, the degenerate extraordinaire Blade. You know what it is, right?
Do you?
Baba Booey.
Is that it? Is
That was
what
it.
is? Is
That was
what
it.
is?
That was the Baba
okay.
Booey.
So
We need to make
is.
it louder next time.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We're figuring things out, guys.
Yeah, we're evolving before your eyes again. We're like a freaking Pokemon over here.
Yeah, I think we're probably like
Last time was a Moonstone, now it's a Waterstone.
No, we're definitely.
I'm sweating.
We're not any Pokemon worth a stone yet. It's like we just went from Caterpie to like Metapod.
To
We're working
Metapod.
on it. We're working. It's not bad once you get to the full stage. It's just not competitively viable for long, you know.
Yeah, exactly. we
And,
can harden our shell forever.
And real quick, as is tradition, what are we drinking today? Nothing. It's a sober episode.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. It's hot as hell outside.
Yeah, we've been doing things, and it's just.
No drinking today, baby.
Yeah, well, we just got done moving a couch up like 3 flights of stairs and hanging TVs and stuff like that. And it's one of those like more humid than anything days, so it's just super hot, super. I don't want to even think about an alcoholic beverage right now, you know.
Yeah, and I was D&Ding last night, and that entails good food and good drink with good times.
Sorry to having plenty of alcoholic beverages for your own self.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, we made it halfway up those stairs, and I was like, oh, man, this sucks.
That actually makes me think of something, you know. So, like, okay, like, there's been 1.5 million like different types of game shows and stuff, right? Like, just, from Price is Right to Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and a lot of it's real basic concept. I ask you a question, you give me answer, and then you got some of the crazier ones where it's like, what was that one? Hole in the wall, where they send you those little things. You have to
you like through a wall.
You got to vogue in, yeah,
you vogue into the wall. I was gonna say Homer Simpson into the wall,
Oh, that one too.
That's for style points.
Yeah, I used to love that show because it's like they clearly wanted you to be way skinnier than the American average, and it's like, come on, this lady is not 110 pounds. There's no way she's fitting through that. Like,
I would love to see you try to squeeze through one of those holes.
I feel like I'd be one of those guys.
Hey,
because,
phrasing.
you know what I'm saying? But like that's one of those things.
No,
I'm saying. But that's because I think the game is you just have to get knocked off into the wall because there was somebody that just like literally tore through the walls and they're like, hey, you can't. He's like, I'm not falling in. So I don't know, man. I feel like that'd be kind of me-ish. I would just.
He's just like,
yeah. Is this the pose?
Your
How about
wall
this one?
has no bearing on me.
I am wall man. Don't you know I'm a maintenance man? I destroy and build walls.
Wallman. Cousin of Walmart.
James Wallman, how you doing? So, but I was kind of thinking like, I can't remember what you said ahead of that, but just like crazy game shows. There's an ad. Can he do it? It's like operating a crane machine.
Honestly,
He wasted a quarter. There it is.
We got it second try, guys.
Only 2 quarters. That's not bad.
Yippee.
So what do you think would be like what would be okay? So you're charged by like CBS, ABC, NBC, one of them, Fox, whatever, and they want you to come up with the next new crazy game show. Now remember, this has to pass American standards of TV, so I don't want to hear like the nude, whatever wrestling hour or whatever.
Okay.
So you got to kind of tame your degeneracy just a little bit for the American audiences.
Okay.
So
all right.
what would be your something kind of original, kind of what would be your new game show, more or less? What do you think you could come up with?
Alrighty, so imagine like Survivor style, right?
Already a fan.
We call it Ants in the Pants.
Oh God, I think they have a board game like that.
There is a board game called like Ants in Your Pants or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Oh damn it!
Yeah.
So we gotta get something different.
Centipedes in your pants.
Well, okay, yeah. Insert Freak of the Week in your pants or something.
Whoa,
like
I like that.
You
That could
see-
be a couple things.
Yeah,
Freak
exactly.
of the week in your
You
pants.
see?
Okay.
Even though it's just different thing every week, but
So you get a lot of people excited for it to be like, and it's a rat. What?
exactly. So
Like, what do
you
mean?
and I, we were in wrestling before.
Yep.
You know the sauna suits.
Yep.
It's basically a trash bag. You zip up and you sweat all that stuff out, right?
It's super nasty. Yep.
So we get that right.
Okay.
And you fill it with like a dozen of whatever the Freak of the Week is.
Mm.
Whoever lasts the longest Oh, even better. Oh, see, I'm making it up as I go right here.
But so far it's sounding very Fear Factor-ish.
Yes,
with like
so
a
that's the
head-to-head,
base.
So, yeah.
That's the base, right?
So Fear Factor's your base for your game show.
Yeah,
kinda?
exactly.
Okay.
So you have the suit full of whatever the fuck, like creepy crawlies, and then you make your way through an obstacle course, and if you can
with the creepy crawlies,
and if you can do it and beat the other person, you move on to the next stage.
Okay, damn, that's
That sounds fun, dude.
So like would start off, it'd be like something real tame and simple, like
you'd probably take like a survey
caterpillars.
beforehand. Hey, what do you hate?
Yeah, well, apparently that's how they did Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Everybody signed up, and then they just wait for the week. You're afraid of heights, you say. Okay, bring him in. He's terrified of heights, and we're doing all height challenges.
Yep,
So, like, to make it even more of a challenge, so, like, what would you say the first one, like caterpillars? Something that's really not even going to bite you or nothing. It's just weird, like worms.
Yeah.
Ooh, worms would be nasty because you're already sweaty and stuff, so you'd be all. Okay, so the first one would be like this.
Oh, man, you already gave me the little goose pimples. I hate this.
This
is my idea, too.
Yeah,
I hate my idea, but I love it.
So, like, yeah, I feel like it'd have to be by the pound, though, because you're doing an obstacle challenge. There'll be like 5 pounds of worms in your suit. Ooh. So that's challenge 1. And then challenge would be number 2, moving up something a little bit more creepy.
You would have to team up. So, okay, I would imagine it'd be like you start with like 8 people, maybe 16 people.
Okay, teams of 2.
Yeah, and then that like the next level is like everybody's individually doing it until you get down to 8.
Squid Game style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't sat down and watched Squid Games, but it's kind of like that. I remember the red light go.
Red light, green light.
Go. Yeah, red light, green light. That's what it is.
Basically, though, it's like they start with like I think it's 456 contestants, and then every game it just starts to whittle down, and then sometimes they put them on teams, and it's like, all right, the team that loses wipes out like 20 people all at once.
And they've got like ridiculous games like that cookie one.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Pin cookie, whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah. No, that one. No, yeah, they got I guess umbrella and the star and all that crazy shapes and stuff like that. God. So yeah, that's yeah. So okay, so then. So the team, I think it'd be funny if the team won. So like one person has to have the worms or whatever in their pants in their suit. The other person's got frogs.
Yeah.
So the frogs are trying to get it. They start hopping after the partner.
Declawed crabs, like the small crabs.
Ooh,
that don't have that can't pinch you, or you put rubber bands on them. So all you're getting is just crawly.
I mean, or you get some really weak ones where they can pinch you, but it's not going to cause damage.
Right.
Now, do you allow cups or no cups? Cups, right? You gotta have cups.
Yeah, you gotta be safe. Come on, man. Protect the jewels, son.
We're dumb, not stupid.
Exactly. We're doing this for entertainment, not torture.
That's like I don't know if you've ever gone back and watched. Yeah, right. We're just trying to have fun.
We're just trying to have fun. Now hold this dynamite
and spin 3 times with your eyes closed
and throw it with your left hand,
and then dive underwater and figure your way out. By the way, that dynamite can explode underwater. Good luck. Yeah, bro. That's like I was watching Fear Factor. Why are you running? No worries, it's safe. Sprint full tilt. It's like I was watching Fear Factor, and I was like, some of the very first episodes, you're like, holy crap, I forgot how deranged some of these things were. It was like, you're going to sit in a pit of snakes. It's like, wow. Like, what? Or rats.
The European cockroaches were like the
Madagascar?
Yeah, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Fuck those things.
Those things
held
are
one.
huge.
You remember, did they ever have that fucking time in elementary school where they brought in like exotic animals?
It's like a snake, a cockroach, and there was
it was like Steve Irwin Light.
Yeah,
came in. He
your local Steve Irwin guy.
Exactly. And he just comes in. He's like, "Good day there, everyone." You're like, "I know you're not Australian. Don't you fuck with that."
You sound like you're from Brooklyn. What the hell? Yeah.
Hey, okay, all right, you got me. You want to see a fucking roach, huh?
Hey, yo, good day, mates, and all that. Hold on, wait a minute. He's sliding in and out.
Well, I remember. He had one of those hissing cockroaches.
Yeah.
And he had me put my hands out, and he sat it in my hands, and it fucking weighed. Like, I was like, oh, no. And that's where my fear of insects, I think, comes from.
Oh, we figured something out about the degenerate. He does not like insects.
I don't. I'll deal with them. Don't get me wrong.
See, my general, I'm kind of with you on that, though, because my general fear is, these things are micro tiny by comparison to a lot of people. I mean, you're talking about a 1-inch thing to, I'm 6'1", you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it has an exoskeleton and I don't, so it feels creepy.
No, that's not the problem. I'm talking about, if you think about how some of these insects can kill a grown person, it's like how powerful, that's the part that anything that's venomous and toxic, that's what scares the shit out of me, because it's just you're already that tiny. Your one self-defense is just murder. You know what I mean? It's just death.
Good job not calling it poisonous.
Yeah.
This guy knows his vocab.
Yep. If it gets you, it's venomous. If you get it, it's poisonous.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah. So Yeah.
Good job. You did it.
There
You get a little check
I got
mark.
a point. Yeah, so like that's anything venomous like terrifies me, and even to an like I don't know, like I feel like if you're in a nature situation, like you definitely want one of those little books that can tell you what's poisonous and what's venomous and all that stuff. Because that's another one is you're lost in the woods and you're just like desperately trying to find something to eat. Next thing you know, you grab a mushroom or something. This looks okay, then.
Yep. I like having I got a little herbalist journal actually over here. You can see it. Look, survival manual, and then next to it you've got the mushroom book, and then you've got herbs and spices and shit.
Yep. You don't get to see, but we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me like
I'm educated.
Well, that makes me think like the very first people that had to start trying to figure these things out. Like who was the first guy that tried a mushroom and then was like, this one gets you high, this one gives you cardiovascular health, this one kills you. Like somebody had to be the test dummy. Like, hey, those black mushrooms, the black caps.
My headcanon is it was always a Greg.
Back to you, Greg.
Hey,
Fuck
Greg.
you, Greg.
Go eat that mushroom. See what happens. And he drips out. Whoa, guys. He never dies, though.
Somehow.
Greg the Eternal.
Greg's tried so many things, he's just like immune to everything. So it's like the next guy's like, oh, it didn't bother Greg. And then he tries it.
It's like the story of Prometheus.
Flew too close to the sun.
That was Icarus.
Yeah. Damn it. Oh, no.
See, I told you, the degenerates are very well educated.
I'm very well educated.
Despite my vocabulary and demeanor.
But it's like, think about the first time that, like, because, aspirin comes from bark or whatever. So it's like the first time it's like, I got a headache. And he's just like, wait a minute. It's just like.
Just skip right to the product.
It's like, how frustrated do you have to be in the woods and you're just like, I'm going to gnaw on that tree. And then you realize it actually helps.
Just like that guy that passed.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I got a headache. Yeah. He's looking for a tree. But that's like one of those ones like, or, you start like grinding up some of the natural plants and herbs and stuff like that you find in nature, and you're like, oh, this makes a really good salve to treat burns and cuts. Like, how desperate were you? I just need some kind of relief. It's like, oh, aloe vera, that's really nice. Like, part of me would like to.
Citronella is good for that too.
There you go. Part of me would like to think that like we just had a natural, like, how like most animals in nature, they just kind of know. Part of me would like to be like, oh, that's good, that's bad. But somebody had to be the test dummy, the guinea pig for everything. And that's just always a fun way to think of it. Like, hey, it's a new mushroom. Sing Greg. It's just always Greg. No matter what time throughout history, it's Greg.
So you go about the burn thing, right? I'm gonna spin a little plate here, but whenever I was a cook, right, and I was in the kitchen, I would burn myself every now and then, grabbing a ladle or something like that.
Yeah.
One of the other chefs, he fucking taught me this thing that mustard. If you put mustard in a little glove or something like that and cover the burn, and then just kind of let it sit there, it's a mild opioid, so it deals with the pain.
No wonder people get addicted to mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I didn't know that. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I really do like mustard too, but it's crazy that it actually worked too, and it's it's one of those things like kind of like, oh, who ate the mushroom first? It's like, who the fuck thought, hey, let me just throw some mustard on my finger, it'll be fine.
I was like that. I had one that was like that too, where it was like I had like the worst sunburn of my life, where it was like I probably should have went to the doctor. It was so goddamn bad. It was just like
I was bubbly. I looked like the beginning stages of pizza.
And what was bad is because I fell asleep on my back for like hours, and no one thought to flip me over or nothing. So like literally, my top half was burnt to a crisp. My back was normal.
James, we don't have a spatula that big, bro.
Fuck you. So,
I pushed the wrong button.
No, that works. That works.
It was supposed to be that
Either
one.
way, they had a good time. The audience, the thank you in crowd audience. But yeah, and then someone was like, put butter. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, or yogurt. I was like, butter, yogurt.
Literally cook yourself.
That's what I was like, what the fuck? And it's like, it was funny because the guy that was telling me, it was like on a construction site, and I tried to power through it at work, but it was like middle of the summer.
Was he like the 300-pound guy? Because I think he was trying to like eat you. He might have been a cannibal.
That's what I was just about to say, because that guy would look like a walking bowling ball, and he was just like, yeah, go home. And the way he did it too was funny. He's like, go home and put a bunch of butter. Except he was like out here, so he's like, put a lot of butter all over it, and it'd make you feel better. And I was like, what? Just what?
I don't know what to push on that one.
The light. Oh, the light. That's what he wanted me to do. Just go home and butter myself up and then be like, oh, the light. I did it.
You could have just said it.
What's the fun in that? We have a button blade. I can go, oh, the light. And they don't know if it's me or not.
See, you know what? We're calling this abusing the soundboard too. Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Every number 2 we've done is Electric Boogaloo.
I'm sorry. That's me.
No, that's just the way. Thing. That's so 80s, 70s style.
I know. That's just me. I get it from, what is it? It's Kicking It or...
Kicking It Old School or some shit like that.
It's an old breakdancing move. Breakdancing.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking. That's what it's called. Breaking.
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and it never came out. Then that's why it's a fucking joke for me. Because it's always at the end of that movie.
Oh, if you think of it, so like, it kind of got me thinking of something else. So like that movie's about people breakdancing and trying to make a whole life around and personality around breakdancing and stuff like that. But like it kind of thinks about like now breakdance is in the Olympics. I know we've talked about that a few times and stuff like that. So people can actually make a living breakdancing. But like that's not the only kind of like kid playground hobby that like you can really make some crazy money on and stuff nowadays. And it's kind of one of those things like you could tell our generation is starting to take over in terms of like the entertainment of things and stuff like that, at least on a small personal level. So it's like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments or Pokemon tournaments or D&D or
even reselling the Magic cards.
Reselling, I mean, just the selling of the cards and like that's a whole market, like a marketability thing now, you know.
Especially if you're like legit buying these things and getting lucky on them and getting them graded and flipping them and like selling them to collectors and things like that.
Oh yeah, like I saw this thing. It's like this guy buying boxes at like a thing. It's like the original fossil packs, Pokemon, very, very, very first American release, and it's like $1,000 for a box and it had like 60 packs. Yep. And it's just like, damn. And the guy's like, if I get so and so and so and so, I make 3 times the money. I was like, oh Jesus. Yeah. All right. Like,
and those are the dudes that like sit on those for a while. And then you have the scalpers, which kind of mess up that whole thing, and that's a whole thing in its own.
Yeah, that's not to take any way from making your money, but I don't like things where you steal from one to give to the other. Like,
Well, the big thing is like the kiddos.
Yeah, you're ruining it for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate too, is because you see some of those videos where it's like these guys make a career out of like say the card flipping and stuff like that, and they just go up there and give me all your stock, and you just see like
they
the
just
kid
mob the machines, bro.
Yeah,
they either mob the machines and just hang out and look all fucking cheesy and intimidating.
Yeah.
Or they wait for them like to empty out and put on the new stock, and they're just like instantly taking it.
Yeah, like I remember there was one time, dude. Like,
so many videos about that too.
Well, I felt bad because I remember one time, like, so me and Nick, who's been on previous episodes, one time we were really messed up and we were like, let's play Yu-Gi-Oh. So we went to like Target that was up the street, and we were like trying to pick out Yu-Gi-Oh card packs. And what's funny is we made his girlfriend at the time, now his wife, buy them for us because we were like, we don't want to walk through the line with our Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you know.
That's hilarious. Like you're underage buying nudie mags or something.
Trying to buy alcohol.
Hey babe, will you go buy those Yu-Gi-Oh cards for me, please?
So it gets even worse than that. So it's even worse than that. So we went on our lunch break to look at the ones we even wanted, and then we sent her after work to buy them for us. Like that's how bad it was. It was 2 levels of ashamed.
Yeah, you guys went straight up the smut route. Like, all right, we can't get seen.
Well, because at the time too, we were like juicing and we were in the gym, so we looked, jacked and ginormous and all that shit. And it's like, I mean, now I couldn't give a fuck less. Like, I'll go do it whenever I want to. But at the time, I was like, 21,
that's totally a
22.
Vibe though. Like it's like fucking swole nerdy guys. That's a fucking vibe.
Now, but it really wasn't as much. I mean, now it's more of a, I mean, this is when I was like, 20, 21 or whatever. It wasn't like now I don't give a shit. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Is my attitude now?
I'm not swole, but I'm in shape, But
it's also part attitude. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, so what? I bought Pokemon cards or whatever. But I do remember, when we were there looking, and then there was some kids that were trying to get some stuff, and like a mobster of teenagers just come by, and they grabbing like the whole stacks, are all grown men. And I remember I felt bad because this one kid was like trying to kind of get in there or whatever, and they were like just not letting him. And I'm old basketball style,
like
boxed out,
wild dogs eating that food.
Dude, I just remember I got in there and like just kind of like NBA box out, get you one kid type shit, and he grabs him like 1 pack, and these people are like, I wanted that. And I was like, bro, it's 1 pack of cards, bro. What do you think he's got the Charizard? Like, calm the fuck down or whatever.
I mean, you might have, bro. You might have cost that motherfucker $200.
Good. Neckbeard motherfucker.
Whoa. Sorry. Too far.
Nah, you know who I'm talking about.
Just kidding. It was kind of funny.
Well, the guys that are all about those guys.
Yes.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
The butter my biscuit man.
Yeah, the guy that wanted me to butter my biscuits, apparently.
No, he wanted to butter your biscuit.
So going back to the game show thing. Sorry, I just kind of branched off on the little game thing.
Sorry.
But now, so your thing is like, creatures in the freaks in the pants, whatever. Daily freak in the pants, weekly freak in the pants, whatever you said.
Yeah. And
one week it could be Nicki Minaj
too. Yeah. Oh, that'd be a cool episode, celebrity episode.
Celebrity freak in the pants.
Yeah.
What would be the Japanese version? It'd be way nasty. It'd be like a whole live fish.
The suit would be transparent.
It'd be an octopus. Oh yeah, you'd definitely be able to see through the suit.
Yeah.
There'd be an octopus in the legs for sure.
Yes.
All the women would have to wear skimpy bikinis for sure.
And
the men.
I think it would be a little more extravagant, like a little over the top, a little more over the top.
Clearly, they're not getting up that wall with that pants on, sir.
Because like I always imagine MXC. You remember MXC?
MXC.
It was on Spike TV a long time ago, or yeah, it was Spike TV before. What was it before?
I can't remember what it was before, but I know Spike TV used to have some really good game show type things because they had Pros versus Joes, which apparently they're bringing that back.
Pros versus Joes was awesome.
They're bringing that back, so.
What was it? It was like a obstacle course, and
the
odds are not in the contestants' favor at all.
Is it kind of like the original Ninja Warrior, the Japanese one?
Yeah, but it was just like unfair. It's more like the Wipeout game, where you're meant to fucking lose.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that's like, if you sign up for that, you know you're signing up to be made a fool.
You better get ready to have a concussion, because, boy, they will not let... I've seen it where they do like a whole... Bam! Oh, God! And they start rolling backwards, and they hit them back the other way, and then they hit them back the other way, and then they fall back down that ramp to get hit by the last thing that they jumped over.
And it's literally like the more times you fail, like you are not going to get through it, because it's like you have to swim back, which takes all your energy. You got to climb back up a ladder. You're soaking wet, which now your clothes are weighing you down.
Now you're heavier, because you're wearing the equipment, too, and I'm sure the equipment absorbs water.
And I know there's been quite a few times where it's looked like, in my opinion, where it's like the equipment's going a certain speed, like, it's doing this thing, and then it's like, it's just like a quick little speed up, like, take that. Because they always talk shit. Like, the guys that go through, they're like, oh, yeah, this guy's really good. Look, he hasn't wiped out once. And then the ones that fall off, oh, what a dumb Karen.
Flush wall.
You just see giant fist. Fall in the water.
Just like the Jackass movie. Open the door and the hand slaps him.
Bam! Yeah, but they had way too much. Bro, I think it was, I saw an interview with, was it Johnny Knoxville or Steve-O? One of them said when it smacked them, like, they had to literally take the power down because it was breaking their noses and shit.
I think it was Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville is always the one that's getting fucked up.
It might have been, Steve-O. It might, yeah. Well, or was it the one? Who's the one that died? Rest in peace. But who's the one that died?
Ryan Dunn?
Maybe. I think it broke his nose, and Johnny Knoxville was like, oh, shit, we put way too much power on it. Because they were afraid it was just going to, like, come out and kind of just, like, get in the way. They wanted it to smack you. But, like, he was looking down or something, so when they hit him, it just boom right in the nose. And they're like, all right, we got to take a few horses off this power.
The guy with the beard, right?
Yeah.
That was Ryan Dunn. Rest in peace, man.
And then they tried to smack Wee Man, but it went over his head. So they were pissed off. They're like, we didn't think about Wee Man. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, man. So...
But yeah, that would be my game show right there, bro.
Okay.
Like that, and the Japanese version, it would just be set against you.
Yeah, just ultimate odds against you. Yeah.
It's the same thing, but turn it to 11. We're gonna give it that Spinal Tap treatment.
Just impossible shit.
Yeah.
That's like I remember like the original Ninja Warrior, the Japanese one, or whatever that they used to have on the game show G4 or whatever it was.
I loved that shit.
And I used to always laugh because, like, they were openly, like, if you were a foreigner to Japanese or whatever, they were just openly mock your ass so hard. Oh, this guy's American. He think he can do it. Ha, ha, ha. He failed on first challenge. It's like, they'd really be, ads.
Hold.
There it is.
Fire. We strike true here.
We wait until we see the white in the ad button.
Indeed.
But, yeah, like, that was always one, like, I used to just like watching the people that you knew had no shot in hell, but they were like, that show was so big for him back then that like it'd be like, oh, this guy's a restaurant holder and 82 years old. It's like, all right, grandma or grandpa, this shit's not gonna work, and they'd fall out. But it's like, aha, go eat the restaurant. And they were just,
what was that mountain called? Mount Midoriyama.
Mount Midoriyama, yeah, something like that.
And then there was the two guys that were so good at that shit. One of them was a fisherman, and the other one was a fireman. Oh, and the third one was a gas station attendant.
Yeah, that's the best one because it's like, okay, the fisherman, you doing because he was like in a rowboat and type shit. Like he was like,
makes sense.
Yeah, like a lot of strength, a lot of, you're out there on the waters. You got a lot of
crabbing, just some
a lot
sailor
of this,
shit.
A lot of this on the water. I'm doing a lot of motions on the water.
Hell yeah.
So building that core and shit. I'm on the water.
Fishing all day long. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a seaman. Can't you see I'm strong?
Gulp.
No. Oh, eaten by whale. Cthulhu said enough of your nonsense.
Right.
Swatted him out. Yeah, that was always the best part too. Is like the guys that even like the American one they got now. It's a little bit, it's still challenging as shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there ain't no way in hell I'm doing any of that stuff. But like, this is like, I like the ones where it's not like I'm a CrossFitter, I've won CrossFit games. No. I want the ones like, hi, my name is Stacy. I'm a mother of 7. I just like to do CrossFit to stay in shape. I don't ever do a competition, but this was in my hometown. I said, golly, I'll give it a shot. And then like they almost clear everything. And then like the super jacked dude,
Midwestern woman.
Yeah, like
Midwestern
it's like,
mom.
It's like, how do you work out? I lift my kids, and
I was just about to say that shit. I lift. Fun fact about me: I can lift all 7 of my kids at once.
One time the house was on fire and I saved them and the husband off of pure adrenaline. You're like, holy shit.
Damn.
And then it's like, she clears the challenge or gets to like 1 or 2 more. She's, oh man, oh well.
Oh, it's already done?
Yeah. Oh, that was easy. Oh, you want me to go back and do it again for the groceries? Some real simple shit. And then you got like this one dude, he's like 0% body fat, like the perfect specimen, 6'4", jacked to the gills.
Barely making it.
Just the first challenge. Just straight into the water, just like... Susie from the block beat you on that one, buddy.
I know, right? Way to go, Midwestern mom. Woo!
Midwestern mom.
Yeah. Damn it.
Oh, now we're laughing at Midwestern moms, man.
No, we're laughing at the other guy.
Okay. Yeah, that was for you,
that was for you, other guy.
Greg.
Yeah.
We're laughing at Greg.
That's rude. I'm so sorry, Gregs.
No, you want to know what's rude? This new thing that Nintendo's trying to do for people that they think is modding their systems.
Man, I've heard that.
They're going to charge you $500 to almost $600 for a new Switch. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple games on there I want to play, not for $600 though. You know what I mean? Like the new Donkey Kong thing looks cool. A couple of new Mario ones look cool. Of course, they're going to have a badass Mario Party at some point in time. So it's like, some of the ones you're going to want to get down with and all that shit. But that being said, I am not paying $600 for a Switch. Like, that is just crazy. I mean, that's 2 car payments or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy for one system right off the rip.
I won't buy it right off the bat. Like, that's kind of how I am with tech, though. Like, consoles or anything that's, like, new, right? Like, hey, the Xbox 4008 is coming out tomorrow. Are you going to get it? Pre-reserve it? Nope, no, I'm not. I'm going to wait until a lot of people burn through that shit.
I hate to break the news, but apparently the next Xbox will be the last one.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'm a PC guy now. See? Look, it's right there.
Yeah, but we run through Xbox systems, sir.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, they said the next system will probably be the last one Microsoft ever produces, so I don't know, like, what happens.
That makes sense whenever you make crappy games, but...
Whoa!
I said it.
Whoa! Well, he said it. I don't know. I'm a fan. I like it. But
I don't know. I like a lot of their games, honestly. Yeah. It's just, they're more...
I don't care if they don't make any more
kind of games.
I don't care if they don't make consoles as long as they just keep producing content and games so you can still play.
I think they would still have the Xbox stuff for the PC, and I would assume they're going to continue Xbox Live.
I feel like if anything that this whole release of the Switch 2 thing was like $600 and seeing the reaction of the people where it's like we're not paying that much. But like to be able to have like it probably might legit be starting to get to that point where it's costing that much to produce these systems on a mass scale, less
resources and shit.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I mean, it might be one of those points where it's just like, look, we make more money just keeping up Xbox Live and the the game store and the Game Pass situation and all that kind of stuff versus like producing another system that just does the same thing with slightly updated graphic cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, and see, the way I would counter that, right?
Okay.
If I was the companies, right, and I came out with my new console, the Blade Station 3, yeah, exactly. Blade Station 3 comes out, right?
The PlayStation 3000.
It is $1,000. What the fuck? Yeah. Yes, but if you send in your old console so we can use the fucking resources to build more.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean? Break them stuffs down and actually get a rebate coming back in.
But the argument on that is, I mean, the way technology, everything's obsolete within like 10 minutes or whatever the crazy average is. I might be a little off or whatever. I think it's something that crazy short like.
That's true, but that's when you're recycling those bits. You're not just keeping them and reinstalling them and doing all that stuff. You're breaking them down for their major components so you can reuse,
like the actual elemental breakdown
exactly.
of it. Yeah.
Like
the copper, the gold elements. Yeah.
That would give people jobs. That would give people emphasis to send in this shit and start actually utilizing the 3 R's.
Yeah, I think people like me, because I like to hold on to my systems and every now and then bust them out and play them. So
I do too.
Yeah, but the idea of paying, like, I think that's kind of where it's come from, because the idea of paying $600 and they can completely brick and shut down your stuff, like, that's bullshit. First of all,
I don't like that. Like that no. That's bullshit completely, man. Because like I don't like sunsetting. Do you know what sunsetting is?
That's like where you can time when you can and cannot play or something like that, right?
Yes, more or less. So like my favorite example is Destiny 2, right?
It sunsets you?
Yeah. So Destiny 2's main campaign, you cannot play, even with the disc, because it's not part of the stuff anymore.
What do you mean? Like even to this day you can't?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because they just took it off, and there's a whole thing that's been going on with it. I'm not going to talk about it, of course, because I don't know everything. But it's definitely one of those things that they keep locking people out of content that people have already bought. For. Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
that's what that's sunsetting. Is whenever you're like, hey, yeah, it's basically exactly what you said, just with specific things for Destiny. So it's like, yeah, cool. You're able to do it. Update comes out. Boop, it's locked.
We got rid of that feature, even
though
you paid for it.
Unless you buy it again. And then even whenever you buy it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I had a situation that was like that whenever for my kids. I think I talked about it was like for the Just Dance thing or whatever, but I had bought them like a year subscription, and then it wasn't working for whatever reason. And then I was like, okay, so I bought them another 3 months. Now it shows like, oh, you have 80-something weeks. And I was like, God damn, like that's not what I was trying to do.
I see.
And then it was like I finally had to call somebody, and they're like, oh, yeah, just press this button. And it was like primary system. I was like, now it works. And I was like, kind of bullshit.
That's dumb.
It's like right after an update, and it was like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, your primary system is the only one that can have the subscription-based download content. And I was like, what the fuck? All right, whatever.
That's odd.
He's like, yeah, I mean, not that I was gonna play Just Dance on my like my Switch handheld one that I have, because you can't or whatever. But it's just the idea, like if I bought any other game that was a subscription-based game for something, like say if I played Fortnite or whatever, right? I'm not a Fortnite fan, but say you get the pass or whatever the fuck they give you.
Oh, we know you're not a Fortnite fan. You're a Just Dance guy. We know, James. We know.
Shut up, man.
We know it's not for your kids.
Shut up.
It's the best kind of Zumba. Just Dance.
I'm about to say some stuff, and I don't just censored. That's right.
Ooh.
I had to press the button. Sorry, I just wanted to press the button. Luckily, I didn't fuck things up.
Good job.
Yay! I'm learning. Yeah, so that one was something I just thought was interesting. It's like the whole idea that they can just completely shut down. I can't wait for the first time there's a Supreme Court case about something like that, where they try to argue that fact, like the American consumer versus the Japanese manufacturer. But right. I mean, we already kind of going through a situation like that anyways, and I know you being a gunsmith, do you want to take this one on, the kind of the Supreme Court Mexico thing?
Oh, you brought it up to me. I didn't really delve any more into it, but
all right, well,
giving my opinion on some stuff, being gunsmith blade.
So, just real quick, give a quick, everybody that's been watching, they know, but just tell them some of your qualifications in terms of gunsmithing and what you've done, so they know you do know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So, I've always been around firearms, so I'm aware of them, I like taking them apart. I'm a certified gunsmith for 5 years professionally.
Southern boy, too.
Yeah, I'm a Southern.
It's like automatic 5 points to gun.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Even if you don't touch a gun, if you're Southerner, it's like 5 points in gun.
Right. I'm an NRA instructor. I know how to shoot them. I know how to teach people how to shoot them. Let's see.
I will say very responsible. Like, he won't even let you, like, fuck around. Like, if you even joke about having bad trigger discipline, he's like, yeah, well, then no. He's like, yeah. You can't even joke. I've literally seen it. Someone will make a joke. He's like, well, guess what we're doing? We're not doing this firing exercise no more.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I just
thinking about dumb things.
And, I mean, I've literally watched, like, a paid client trying to tell him, and he's like, okay, well, no, we're leaving now. And it's just bye type shit, like, no, we're not going to do that. Can I just spay and pray? All right, well, end of training session.
Yep, you've wasted my time and your money.
Yep, because I'm not
refunding you. You've forgotten the face of your father. Like, it's basically that kind of shit.
Right.
But yeah, NRA certified pistol, rifle, shotgun instructor, SIG lock armorer, and I'm a certified applicator of Cerakote. So I paint guns really pretty-like.
So he builds them, paints them, repairs them.
Oh yeah, the whole nine. I'm a freaking whole package shop as long as I have access to one.
There you go. So the point I wanted to bring up. So recently, the Supreme Court says that Mexico cannot sue American gun manufacturers because the cartel is using American-made guns. I didn't realize there was such a lawsuit going on, but apparently that's a few things. Ever since the tariffs and stuff like that, apparently there's a lot of, petty, oh, yeah, well, you guys do this. Oh, yeah, well, you do that type shit going on. So I guess now because we're not political, so if we're talking out our asses, two jackasses, grains of salt, whatever. But from the little bit that I understand, those two guys look like they're playing your game with your sweatsuits in the background.
Exactly.
But 90%, no.
Oh no, up to
summer sound.
There it is.
Yeah. So one of the things apparently is like a lot of the Mexico government is like the problems that they're having. They're trying to tie into because I guess Trump did the whole drugs are coming from here. It's all y'all's fault. Blah 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 thing. So now they're like, oh yeah, well the guns they're using are coming from you, so it's all your fault. And the Supreme Court's like, yeah, no, we will not accept at least from Mexico. I don't know about everywhere else. I'm pretty sure after World War II and all that kind of shit, like you cannot sue gun manufacturers because it's a manufacturer.
The only way I can see them getting away with suing gun manufacturers themselves if they're doing some purposefully sponsoring, terroristic activities, or cartel ass.
MS-13 brought to you by Glock.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh hey, random cartel gang, did you guys need some full auto Glock 18Cs?
Yeah, AK Russian AKs brought to you by.
Here, just remember, leave Glock stuff around. Make sure they know that you used a Glock. All right?
Put a sticker every time on the body. Just leave a Glock.
Yeah, if it was like that, I could definitely see the lawsuits being able to land and stuff. But the way that's going, that sounds like it's the same thing as suing for like a spoon company for making people fat. Right. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I feel about it because it's like
they're all tools to be used, and there's good ways and bad ways to use a tool.
Yep.
You can use a shovel to hurt somebody.
Yeah, because that's like the same thing that I would I kind of feel the same way too. Is just that it's like I can go get a hammer, and if I'm not using the hammer right and I hit somebody with a hammer, it's the same thing. A gun is a tool. Hammer. It's an assault hammer. Yeah, it's my AK assault hammer.
You pay an extra tax for that one,
of course, and I have to get it registered and do a background check.
And then I have to you have to bring it down to my shop, and I have to laser engrave it with your name and your serial number and all that good shit. Which is one of those offers that I, one of those things I offer. That's right. That's right. Shameful plug.
Check out the Instagram. He'll put it at the end or right now. What is it?
I will. It's Sparsa's Custom Gunsmithing.
There you go.
Yeah, baby.
Sparsa's Custom Gunsmithing.
Get you some.
So yeah, that's kind of how it feels. It's like it's like say you get a jackhammer or whatever, right? And like unless the safety guard malfunctions or something like that, where it's like a clear manufacturer's error. That's what the word I was looking for.
And it hasn't been tampered with, and there's no visible, this motherfucker cut it and soldered it to bypass the safety.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's my favorite ones, yeah. Like because working construction, I used to see that all the time where it's like, yeah,
they just take the solenoids off.
Or not even that, like talking about like just some of the skill saws. It's like they take the safety guard off and they're like, we're suing because it cut my fingers. It's like, dude, you took the safety guard off.
You can't.
You know the word safety and guard means it's for your protection, right? Yeah, but it makes me slow down.
It's that same deal. Like if we were on a job site together, right? And you were lifting something and you go, my back, and you fall over.
Yeah.
And you know the drill. We cover you in PPE. He was wearing it the whole time, boss. It's basically that.
Right. Or like
that guard was on there, even though we took it off. We know.
You're like, quick, somebody find a guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows.
And that's why you don't throw this stuff away.
That's right. You always keep it in your bag just in case you got an emergency moment. That's my get away from OSHA safety tip for you right there. Always keep your safety guards on. That way, if you have an accident, you can quickly throw that bitch on there and get your lawsuit money.
Or around.
It's just as long as somebody, and keep at least one homeboy in the loop that knows exactly like he just said. You throw the PP on and be like, he was doing everything right. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's kind of a good thing too because it lets you know that even though hi people enjoy the pod.
Hey, it's wet out there. Be careful.
That's why we're inside.
Mm-hmm.
But it does like on a deeper level kind of give more protection for American manufacturing, at least in terms of overseas stuff. Because it's like maybe not overseas, but international lines and all that or whatever. Because like it's hey, you bought it. It's what it is, like what's your intentions.
You bought it. You're not sure how these cartels are getting them too. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing too, is because I don't think you can sell guns into another country. Like I don't know the rules of it. I'm pretty sure there's 1.5 million loopholes you got to jump to be able to do it. But like,
there's a couple of things that you can do, but I'm not going to go into detail about it.
But I mean, to the extent of
that'll start costing you time.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things. It's like I'm pretty sure it's not as easy of, hey, AK, send us 500 assault rifles, please. Like, it's not just that.
Oh, damn, James, that was fun. Excuse me, Mr. AK? Can I get 1,000 AKs?
Excuse, yeah, it sounds like the narc trying to like make a gun deal.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. AK-47.
This is Mr. AK-47. That sounds like a stupid ass nickname.
It does. It sounds like it'd be like, have you talked to Mr. AK-47?
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, isn't he a basketball player?
Yeah, Andre Karolinko.
Yeah, okay.
AK-47.
That's why I was like, hey.
One of the best nicknames of all time for the most mid player ever.
Yeah, it's super cool.
He was a very mid player. I mean, he was good at. He was one of those dudes that like before his time, he did a little bit of everything. He'd get assists, he'd get rebounds, he played defense, he could make some shots, but it wasn't like he was great at any one thing.
So he's well rounded.
But he was one of the few guys that had a I don't even know what you call it, but basically a 10 and he got 10 of 4 or 5 stats. Like he pulled some kind of crazy. It was like 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 blocks, and like 10 steals or some crazy shit like that. Yeah.
Damn, he got a what the fuck?
Quadruple double? No, that'd be 4.
Quad double?
No, it'd be cinco.
Tri double?
A cinco double.
Cinco double.
Cinco double. Yeah. Yeah, he was one of the very few people. Cinco dos. Well, now that we're talking about Hispanic stuff, let's get into the other shit that's going on.
Praise be to Ocho Cinco.
That one too. So recently, again, we're not going to get into the political aspect of it, but this is just what's happening, what's going on. Over the weekend, as of recording, there was a bunch of ICE raids in Los Angeles and California and stuff. And, there was a lot of fighting back, a lot of throwing the rocks, people and stuff like that. It's
spicy.
Yeah, it's a touchy situation because you don't want anybody hurt on either side of nothing. I mean, to some extent, like some of those people that working on that side, I'm sure they're racist assholes, but I'm sure some of them are just needing a job, and this is just where they put them. It's like being a cop in some situations. Like, look, man, I'm sorry, but this was my, my beat or whatever. This is just where I was at, what I had to do. But on the same side, like I feel like
can be handled better.
Exactly. There's always a way.
That's the way I'm going to leave it, just so I'm not.
Yeah, again,
pissing you guys off because we're here for entertainment, baby.
Yeah. But I do want to say the one thing that it seemed like the sneakiest motherfucking move of all time. So this weekend they had a AAA WWE cross promotion event. We've talked. I'm a bigger wrestling fan than this man or whatever. Whatever. But for the first time, WWE's like working with other promotional brands and stuff like that. So they had an event called Worlds Collide, and it was in the Forum in Los Angeles, and it was if you know anything about wrestling, AAA is like the main lucha libre promotion right now and all that. Like in terms of traditional Mexican style of wrestling and stuff like that, they seem like to be the number one. Them, and there's another one. I think it's like I can't remember the other guy, but they're the main ones that do a lot of working with American independent.
Rey Mysterio's from that group, isn't he?
Well, he's worked with him.
Okay.
Like when he had a little stint where he was with WWE, that's where he went to build up that brand and stuff.
All right, yeah.
But like a lot of if you have a favorite Mexican lucha wrestler in WWE, he's probably went through AAA at some point in time. Like it's one of those situations. Like they've all gone through. Stephanie Vaquer, who's one of the big hot ones right now.
Abby Apache, that's a cool name.
There you go. There's a guy named Ray Phoenix, another guy. He came from there. Yep, that's Stephanie Vaquer.
Same people.
Yep. So so there's a lot of them, and so they had a big cross event. And
Big Mama.
Damn,
that's one. Lady Shant. I would change.
Lady Shat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. So there was a big cross promotion event, and obviously it's going to draw in Southern California. There's with Mexican wrestling, and these guys are promoted like mostly out of Mexico, and now they're in the United States. So you're going to draw a huge Hispanic, Latino audience and all that shit. And then what's crazy is then you watch the WWE main event or pay-per-view where they had the Money in the Bank thing, and it looked like there was a shit ton less people. Like half the people that should have been in the audience were just not there. And something tells me they probably had like a dual ticket event where you go to one, you get the ticket for the other one that afternoon too or whatever.
Okay.
And I think either a lot of those people were either protesting or on the run or something. No, just being completely honest, because it's like you have this ginormous Latin event going on.
Right, especially Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre, and it's the Lucha Libre thing. That's the thing, is it's not like Rey Mysterio did his thing, Conan did his thing over there. I mean, like if you could think of a lucha guy, he's been, Dragon Lee's been through that bitch. I mean, anybody, you know what I'm saying? They've all been through that thing. So then you have the biggest event for like a Latino crowd or whatever, and then you roll ICE through.
Right.
Like there's chess moves.
A slimy fucking tactic.
There's chess moves, and then there's being dirty. You know what I mean? And that's like,
Yeah, that's definitely one of those slimy tactics.
Yeah, that's like when you've watched like those old Pixar shorts. It's like, hey, what's that? And then the guy moves the pieces around when they ain't looking type shit, and it's like, haha, caught you. Like that's,
I would get it if they were violent criminals.
Something, you know what I mean? It's just like, but just to come in and hey, we're raiding everybody, like think about the amount of people that they're just there having a family time, hardworking people that bought a ticket to go see, Lucha Libre, and then now you're running for your fucking,
you can't even fucking enjoy it because you're looking over your fucking shoulder.
Yeah.
And man, I'm getting heated about this.
No, and like again, we're trying not to get and like listen, we're not so naive to be like we don't understand borders and immigration policies. And like we understand there are dangerous individuals. You can't let everybody in and then take all the resources and they bleed it dry and then they leave. It's like anything else. Like what we're doing to the planet as a whole. We bleeding this bitch dry. At some point in time, we're going to be in trouble. Just being real.
Yeah, Mother Guy is going to summon Captain Planet. He's going to kick our ass, Don Cheadle style.
One at a time.
Yeah, human tree.
It's just one punch each. Just everybody line up. Captain Planet's pissed. Oh, man. Everybody's got to take your slapping.
Speaking of human trees.
Okay.
You know how trees are like a really good oxygen maker, right?
Of course.
I found out that algae is actually one of the higher producers of oxygen
underwater
on the planet.
Underwater?
Just in general.
Like okay.
They photosynthesize and release the same stuff.
That makes sense because when I was working construction, there was a couple of like high-end schools that had these really badass. It was
like the algae cooling things, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't cooling. It was like it was like a map of the United States, but it was broken down by terrains. And each terrain was a different color algae moss, but you didn't have to water it. It just took the moisture out the air, and then it would continually grow on its own.
That's cool.
So, like, I really wish I saw a picture of it. It was years ago.
Mossy topographic map.
There you go, topographic. Yeah, so
that's
it'd be like
cool. So, like, I need to look that up. Hold on, keep talking.
So it'd be like on the coastlines or whatever. It'd be like blue for whatever it would be, and then on one side for Texas, Texas has like 3 or 4 different, I don't know what you'd call it, different kind of terrains it goes through or whatever. And then, it was just made of a certain moss and color. I don't see anyone that... It was like a decorative thing. Right. Look up decorative mossy top... Oh, our algae. Look up a algae map. Yeah, there you go. Come on, Blady.
All right, we're man, fuck he did the thing.
Wait, go back up. So it kind of looked like this one right here. Yeah, so... That it looked like that, but each one of these individual little things, can they see it?
I can make them see it.
Okay, that one kind of it doesn't look like it's algae, but basically picture that right there. All right, hold on, let you bring it up. Do what you got to do.
Boom, Jamie time.
Okay, so basically, but they see it. That's all that matters. So basically, what you see right there, but like the blue would be like a blue moss, the brown would be like a brown moss, the light green would be like a light, and so on and so on. And then everything was just its own moss color or whatever. It kept it divided and made it look, and it was like, because they had it hanging like 30, 40 feet in the air. It was in a big thing for the school or whatever, right? It was huge moss thing. And then I was like, so how did they take care of that? Like, moss and algae just takes moisture right out the air. Like, it literally will never die. It'll be fine as long as it doesn't get basically burned alive. It'll be fine. I was like,
that's some like human ingenuity, like next level shit right there. That's like what were the things in Rome, the aquifers in Rome.
Oh yeah,
where they actually had flowing water going on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they're called
the first
aquifers.
Toilets and stuff like that. Or they had the first sewer systems and
that's a
irrigation,
feat of engineering.
All that stuff.
Yeah, irrigation kind of trough.
Well, that's like you look at some of those ancient roads in Rome, and they still stand off better than I-35 now.
Yeah,
I mean legit. Like they're made out of stones and like mud, and it still stands better up to what we got to this day.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the all these things that I just know. The Roman concrete or Greek cement. I can't remember what it's actually called, but there's a special blend of concrete and masonry that they did with that. Okay. And that explains why their buildings are standing the test of time.
That's crazy.
And it's lost to the ages apparently. Like they have ideas of what it could be, but nobody's actually gone through and done it.
Well, that makes me think into like, okay, so this was something I wanted to talk on another show about, but fuck it, we're already here. And I think it'd be a good kind of show ender topic. But the concept and the reality of what time is, right? So
okay.
Like time is a man-made construct. Like it's not like, whatever creation belief you have, Adam and Eve, whatever, evolution. It's not like the frog popped up and said, I was born with a watch. So at some point in time.
That depends on if he won the war or not.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you get to change the history. Yeah, that's true. I was born with a watch. Yeah. Animal Farm style. I can read. You can't. I'm better than you.
Oh, that's an old one right there. Animal Farm.
Apparently they're making a movie.
Oh, cool.
Seth Rogen's going to be one of them, so we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, they're going to make it funny.
Uh-oh, I know a new button. We're going to get a Seth Rogen laugh.
Like we all get the same amount of oats.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because apparently he's one of the pigs.
Socialism.
At its finest by a liberal. That's actually kind of...
Whoa!
Sorry,
that was funny.
Yeah, one of the bigger celebrity liberals now is now going to play a socialist.
That was actually funny. Good job.
Thank you. Oh man, that was crazy. I forgot totally what we were talking about. Oh shit! What were we? Oh, the concept of time. Yeah, see, we lost it. It's just gone.
Yep.
But there's so much of that stuff. So like, you look at like the pyramids of Egypt. A lot, like you said, the Roman stuff. And the idea of this technology has lost to time or whatever, right? Or like the Easter Island heads, the Moa statue heads, stuff like
Those
that.
Those are interesting as fuck.
Yeah, like, and I actually saw a dude, he posted a video about how apparently they moved, and it was like this crazy contraction where it's like the weight of the head sways, and it like gave it was the craziest thing ever. I wish I would have sent it to you, but it was...
remember, okay, so... I remember a cartoon that made them, like, they had little legs that they would lift up out of the ground. And
and just kind of hike up their skirt.
Yeah, and then walk off.
Then replant.
And replant.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
I can't remember
Looney Tune shit.
Yeah, it was some Looney Tune shit. And that's what I think happens, honestly.
Because I think the episode was, like, I think the episode was legit, like, Bugs Bunny's looking at a plan, and then he thinks, like, the Easter Island head's like... And the Easter Island head was, like, looking over his shoulder or whatever. And then... So then, like, he moved off with his plan, and then next thing you know, you see the Easter Island head hike up the legs and do his thing or whatever. Oh, I don't even see it up there. I don't either. No, fool ass. Oh, it's almost there. There, touchdown.
Oh, man.
All right, we made it.
Sorry, that was hard. I was fucking around doing Jamie shit.
Trying to figure it out as we go, guys. But yeah, that does make me kind of think, like, maybe fucking Looney Tunes knew a thing or two, man. Maybe they had or time travel, like... Do you think there's ever been an instance in the history of the universe that there's been a legit time travel situation?
I think there's been a couple.
Think so?
Yeah.
I kind of do too. Like, because, and I hate to use this reference, but like DC Comics, right? Whenever it's Darkseid and Batman, he hits him with the Omega beams, but it doesn't kill him. It sends him way back in the past or whatever.
Ah, okay. So he didn't actually die.
No, yeah. Have you seen that one?
That's
I think it's Darkseid. But he hits him with the Omega the anti-life equation beams or whatever it was.
It's not the Flashpoint stuff, is it?
I can't remember.
I don't
Maybe
think it's Flashpoint stuff.
I'm more Marvel than DC, but I do remember that particular story. I just can't remember what it was called. But yeah, basically, they all thought Batman was dead, but it sent him way back to like Victorian era England and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then like he ends up solving who Jack the Ripper is, and all the biggest mysteries.
Victorian Batman.
Yeah, exactly. But like all the biggest histories in the world that are unsolved, Batman went and solved throughout history, and then
it's
just
like Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, that bullshit stuff.
Yeah, I get you.
And then somehow he comes back around right as Darkseid's about to finish the whole thing, and he's like, "Nah, man, I've centuries and centuries of your bullshit. I know what to do now,
Centuries and centuries of your bullshit.
Of your bullshit.
I done learned.
I learned a thing or two. Yeah.
I have prepped for this.
So do you think there's like... So it makes me kind of wonder, like, okay, so the amount of... They're not going to tell you every time there's been a crazy scientific experiment that failed and people died, right?
Right.
They're not going to tell you every time there's been like, hey, we're testing the atomic bomb, and then it boom, and then they just think, oh, man, the guy got atomized. How do you know?
But with that superhedron collider, right?
Right.
That we'll definitely know whenever they open a black hole on fucking Earth.
Oh, yeah, because
we'll definitely know that one at least.
I think they said it would be like something like within 5 minutes, the whole Earth would be within itself. So 5 minutes, the whole thing just...
Yep, and then we started all over again on the other side of that black hole.
Just floating, son of a bitch. I'm thin now.
I'm all spaghettified. Yeah, exactly.
I finally, look, Ma, I lost the weight. Yeah. It's like, but you're the flat noodle, so you're still fatter than the other noodle people. No, damn it.
Flat Stanley style. Everybody else is linguine. You know?
The hot ones are the ones that have the bow tie body. Damn, look at that bow tie.
Yeah. Just imagine the angel hairs.
Ooh, nice and thin. Look at this penny. Oh, man. But yeah, it just makes me wonder if there's ever been a situation like that where it's like, we're testing an atomic bomb today. Boom. Oh, man. Poor Greg got atomized. It's like Greg wasn't atomized. Greg's in the future. Or Greg went back to the past or whatever, you know.
That was one of those fun facts about the Manhattan Project. Whenever they were testing those bombs, they said if they reached the one that they tested might have ignited the the one that they dropped onto Nagasaki and Hiroshima, they could have ignited the ozone.
I believe it.
Some sort of something in the stratosphere somewhere.
Create the initial hole or whatever.
To just like burn up the ozone layer, and they went ahead and just did it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Scary. And you can only think about, like, speaking of the time thing, being like the different timelines from that. You know what I mean? Like the whole string theory.
That would
stuff.
Definitely be a string theory of the universe. Yeah,
fucking thing of just like, cool, we did it, right? This is our universe. We're 616 as Marvel people would say, right? The holy timeline.
the main.
That's us, right?
Continuity.
But the other side is, oh boy, our ozone got destroyed. Now everything's looking like Fallout.
Or what if we never did it? Is the other string?
Yeah.
If you never dropped the bombs or whatever. Yeah, that's
I like stuff like that. Like
yeah.
The whole, like, hey, what if?
Like, one day we need to do an episode like that where we just go through like some of the biggest like monumental moments in history and just think like, okay, what if they
and just
didn't?
kind of brainstorm laterally.
Yeah, that cool. is very curious to think about because it's like, what if like say the Trojan War or whatever they didn't actually win and it's like it shuts down the whole.
What if they didn't bring in the horse? What if they said fuck your gift?
What if they just like set it on fire?
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Yeah, boom. Yeah. Like, and then next thing you know, everything that led from that on, you know, the wars in Greece and ancient Rome and all that shit just never happens or whatever.
And then now they don't call them Trojan condoms; they call them greasicles or whatever.
Greasy grundles.
Yeah, they call them the greasy grundle covers.
You know, on that note, why don't you go ahead and give us one grundle health tip for the end of the episode on?
Okay. Oh man. Well, you got to keep it moisturized first of all. You got to keep it real gambly. You don't want to make it like obvious that you're getting in because you want it there. You see?
Okay.
That's the whole point of it.
Are you more of an oil or a lotion guy?
I'm a cocoa butter guy.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a smooth dude.
Nice.
I like to stay smooth and smelling good.
Nice. Alrighty then. Well, there's your grundle health tip for the episode. We appreciate you guys, everybody coming back once again. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Who cares? And then put that little bell because, hey, it helps small channels like us, and we are trying to be big channels like some of those other guys.
We're trying to get bigger for our britches, you know what I mean?
I have big britches. I need to fill them.
Big socks to fill.
I told them not to buy those socks. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, hey, thank you, and as always, we love you.
With consent. Sorry, I was looking away at something real quick. All right. Bye.